Hello YouTube, welcome back. We're here with another PGA Tour 2K23 video. It is another week of TGC Tours Challenge Circuit. And this week we are bringing you Orion Ranch by mattf with help from tpetro. I've heard this course is on the easier side, although from what I was told by the scheduler Q, Round 1 has the toughest pins, but kind of easier conditions to make up for it. So I decided to give you Round 3 conditions. Round 3 conditions and pin set to show you how to play one of the harder rounds. So let's get into the settings and sort of discuss what you can expect this week. So we're starting on the red tees, the back tees, which are significantly longer than the shorter tees, 300 yards. Pin 3, of course, for round 3. Medium winds, but default wind direction. So we don't know exactly what wind direction it will be. It could change during the round. It could spin during the round. It depends on the RNG gods. What does HB give you guys today on the wind direction when it releases? So we'll just play default and see what we get and just play whatever. It's medium winds, so like winds aren't going to affect us too much unless they are direct headwinds. Firm, and fast are the conditions, and that's why I've chosen this round. Last week, people struggled when we got to firm and very firm rounds with fast greens, so I figured I'm going to discuss how to handle firmnesses, the bounce, how much it affects rollout, stuff of that nature. Hopefully that'll be educational, helpful for you all. As always, we'll be playing the rounds starting around 8 o'clock. The stream goes up around 8:30 or to 8:45. We'll start our challenge circuit rounds. We play all 4 rounds live for you over on Twitch. Sorry for the lack of uploads this week. It's been a tough week mentally for me. I got really frustrated with this game. And I've been very frustrated with life in general. So it's been a struggle to get me motivated to produce more content. But I got some ideas for this week. Hopefully I can get to them. However, I'm starting to commute for work. So this is where the content might start drying up, unfortunately. But, you know, we'll see. I'll give myself a chance. If I do release content, I will record stuff like on Saturdays and Sundays and release them during the week. But with that all being said, let's get into the round and see what we have to deal with. Remember, the Twitch stream is twitch.tv/karacakes. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get to the round. So, like I said, round 3 in 3. Okay, we got multiple shelves on this. Here we go. Wide open fairway if you can get it here. If you have significant wind in your face, maybe you have to worry about this. If you have short club, maybe you have to worry about this. If you miss tempo, obviously, like if you aim here and then slow it, there's a chance it goes here if you slow it really badly. It is a shorter hole, so you need to think about how far do you want to go. Because if I just hit driver, I'm going to have a pitch shot in. Are you willing to have a pitch shot in? Do you want to play on this side so you have a slightly longer approach into the hole? Because if you lay up, quote unquote, and land in this area, you have a full club in. And if you have one of your shorter clubs, like even over here, is like pretty safe. It's a matter of, do you want to go in between these bunkers? You want to play safe and come up here? If you play up here, you have a really short shot in. And so that's what I'm going to go for, so that I have a lob wedge pitch in. Since I don't want a short, I don't want to be short, or I don't want to be too in between and have a gap wedge or a pitching wedge pitch in. Which is 90 to 100 yards for me. I try to avoid those ranges, but like 70 to 60 I can work with. As we can see, 60 yards. A little wind in the face too. So, oh, I have True Shot on, so let's turn that off. This is good for learning your clubs, but obviously if you are practicing for the rounds, and you've learned your clubs, then I would turn it off. I'm going to keep course yardage on. Course yardage and A marker on so I can point out certain parts of the slopes and stuff. So we are going to loft it slightly. Wind should take it off maybe another yard or two. We always practice swing our pitches because we struggle with them. And I struggle with them some more. But we are okay with that. So really bad tempo and I'm a little screwed here, but c'est la vie. I knew it was going to stop braking immediately. But it's hard to judge that initial brake when you have a slope at your feet. So, uphill pretty significantly, 20. So you have a slope to play with back here. If you're on the left side, this can work. It'll bring you back to the hole. But obviously, the further up you are and right you are, the more further it's going to take your ball. As you can see, it wants to roll out this way. There's a bit of a false front that'll bring you all the way down here, probably, if I had to guess. So we really don't want to be short. Looking about 186-ish, maybe 185 to 187-ish with this wind. So am I willing to risk playing it here? I think I will. I think I'll go a little bit of... I'll go a little bit of D-loft and a little bit of forward spin. Oh, I'm fasted again. I don't want to retake this. But I'm going to show you how I struggle when I'm playing for my first round of the day. It's a struggle, so when you're out of this, you have a couple options. So I'm avoiding the chip because I see like this is a lot of slope. It's going to land in the slope. I really don't want to do that. It's going to roll forever. So I'm going to take a flop instead. Run a downhill lie as well. I need more stopping power. The flop has slightly more stopping power with full spin. A lot more stopping power even. Oh. Wow. I missed the power by a mile. Some days I struggle. I always add power to my putts, especially on faster greens. Because I tend to hit close to the power. And that's how you save a disastrous hole. I forgot to like care about the vibration. I just hit it like 100% shot without thinking. That happens. Sometimes you autopilot. Another longer par 5 this time. We have our first long hole. Bit of a slope, so you have quite a bit of distance to the hole. Don't get greedy though. Gonna loft because I need to cut the distance out because I barely have the wind in my face. I have a high lie percentage, so this should go true, and we're going downhill. So I need to take some distance off. And we hit our first perfect a little bit. And we ride the slope and get a little lucky. There you go. We take distance off on downhill putts that are fast, especially when they're slope past the hole. One important thing to note is that if it rolls past the hole, you need to be more careful. Ooh, it turned quickly. So as you can see, it wants to roll out more and more. Okay. We get our birdie. Finally on the board. We're gonna loft here, and this is where I want to talk to you about firmness. When you have firm greens, you need to land shorter because it's gonna bounce up. Obviously, you need to be careful of like hitting a red slope or something. For instance, if we were trying to attack a pin that's here, hitting this slope, even on firm greens, might not get up there if you're using a pretty lofted club or if you loft it yourself with the left stick on the shot shaping. But when you're playing on firm and very firm, sometimes, especially with wind at your back, you need to use these red slopes to kill your ball and still get up. And in this scenario, right, we have firm. The slope isn't too too extreme. So this is going to want to bounce and roll out a little bit. However, we do have a tiny bit of wind at our back, and we're using a 9 iron, which naturally has good stopping power. So we aren't worried too much about the bounce and rollout. We're just worried about the distance now. That's a very good shot for me. Played a little safe on this side. But as you can see, even with loft and a slight wind in our face, it still bounced and rolled out 2 yards. The firmer the greens, the more you have to worry about that. So if you're struggling with shots like that, keep that in mind. All right, a shorter par 5. You still have a decent amount of distance in, but as long as you hit your tempo, you should get a good distance. That's way too slow, but we're gonna get away with it. It's a wide open fairway. All right, big lie at our feet, uphill. Again, this is the same scenario. If we can hit it here, it'll kill the ball enough. It'll still roll out, but if we hit this slope in the right places, this will die. That's what we're trying to go for. When you're taking these longer approaches with your longer clubs that don't have as much loft on them, you're going to need to do things like that. So we look at our lie at our feet. Might take off a yard or two. The elevation might take off 6 to 7 yards. So we're looking at like 8 yards off already. 221, but the wind is at our back. So we're looking at like 216, 217 to the pin. So I'm going to loft it a bit. See if I can hit this slope and make it die. I look at the wind and slope to dictate some of the aim. Because I push, I don't aim as far to the right, or as far to the, yeah, as far to the right. It's too fast, so it's going to get extra distance and miss the slope we were trying to hit. But as long as it doesn't go down, that next tier, we're okay. And part of what I do now when I'm doing my shots is thinking about where I'm going to miss. And that's why I didn't aim so far to the right or to the left. Because I'm assuming, okay, I might hit a fast. I want to make sure we're not off the green. So again, we look past the hole. I don't take as much off as maybe I would think about taking off. Because it is uphill past the hole. But I do have to take care that this doesn't go down the hill to the right. So I'm not going to add too much power. Going to still end up taking away power in the end. Get this close to the hole. You can see, quite good. You could even play safer by aiming higher up the hill. Aiming up the hill is safe. Taking a little more power off is safe, and you'll be good there. Where did my UI go? There it is. That was a weird bug. Tree in the way. The question is, you can kind of overpower and go for the pin with full off, full spin, but it's a very aggressive shot. You're going to end up like 30 yards away, 20 yards away. You get a lucky kick, maybe you can get close to the hole, and you get like a 109 or 110, but I find that unreasonably risky. So we go to our course yardage book, which you open by pressing circle, and we look. I think I'm going to take my 3 wood. Hit it perfect off the tee. All right, uphill slope. So the slope might play 2 yards, 3 yards. So we're gonna just add like 3 yards of loft. Hopefully this is a good shot. I'm gonna assume I might fast. And of course I slow it. C'est la vie. Distance was right though. And we got that dreaded foot lie again. But there's more break this time. Just misses low. Oh well. I think that's an easy one to score, but we missed with the slow instead of a fast. Oh. As you can tell, it's my first round of the day, and we are struggling. So even I struggle from time to time. So if you're in this bunker, unfortunately, you're going to need to add spin, which is what I'm doing so I can get more distance out of my club. And it's going to roll out of the sand more, so I want to get it there. That's weird. I'm struggling a little bit, but I get to show you guys something. So they fixed putting from the fringe. Now it gives you the appropriate power. And here's a little tutorial. Fringe and fairway, you need to add power. A lot of power. As you can see, we have a 96% lie with the putter. So if I just take this power, I'm going to end up being very short. So I'm still learning the distances, but I'm going to add like 14 feet of power because this is significantly uphill. Significantly uphill and significantly up the fringe and fairway. I hit it a little hard. So it's going to bounce off the pin. It was a good read. But I overhit it by a couple percentage points. I could feel it from vibration and everything. Longer hole. Slope at the back that you can use. If you get too high, you might get in trouble though. Like if you landed here, it's gonna go down this red slope for quite a bit. There's a chance it comes down all the way. But do keep that in mind. If you're gonna use the slope, you probably want to land somewhere in this area, get it up to here, and let it come down. And it'll come down with a little less speed. We're gonna full loft it because I need to take distance off significantly since this is downhill. We're fast again. Struggling with tempo a little bit. And of course we're left. But at least you're safe here. If you're down below, you're down here, you're going to have to chip because it's so significantly uphill. And if you're down here a little bit more, again, same thing. Bit of a tricky up and down. Be careful of adding too much power here. I always add power on an uphill shot, but I'm not going to add as much as I normally do. Because there's a risk this goes off the green afterwards. We need to get this high enough because of how much break and yellow break there is. And we almost nail it. But as you can see, this thing wants to go, so if you overhit that too much, it might be off the green. Again, another short shot because of the pin location especially. So you can go for a pitch if you go for the shortcut here. If you have a shorter driver in like the 290 range or less, you can go for here with a little bit of shape and get it to come down to here. You can lay up and play out here for a longer shot. Your downhill elevation, as you can see. So we're definitely, even with the 3-wood, we're definitely getting to like 130, which would be a pretty good shot for us. So I'm thinking we go for that. There we go. Good tempo. That's kind of where I'm going for. Slight fast or perfect is very good for me. And as you can see, we are a little close to the edge. If you use the loft wedge, there's a chance this rolls off if you put too much spin and loft, so do be careful. We're on a downhill slope as well. So we're looking at like 119 to the pin, maybe 118, 117. The wind's going to take it a couple more yards, 114. So I'm already thinking like, maybe this lob wedge is good. So I'm going to de-loft it a little bit just to make sure it gets there. Give it some forward spin. I do not want it to come back. And we're safe over here. Since I've been hitting it fast constantly, I decided I'm going to make sure my perfect is right at the pin. That way, if I hit a fast, a slight fast, it might be right at the pin. And if I hit a super fast, maybe we're here instead. We hit a pretty hard fast. And if we hit a gray fast, we're definitely still over there. But, I mean, that's still better, right? So there's a little bit of break at the start, but it does stop breaking. I think this is a solid. Beautiful. Modestly sized fairway, and if you land here on the edge, you might bounce and get lucky. But this is one of those could bounce left, could bounce right type deals, so aim middle. Hope to get in the middle. Let it run to the right. Pin location tucked in the back left, so distance won't be a big deal here. Let's just get it up there. Push shank. Push shank works out. Uphill. Slight wind in the face. Not a little de-loft for me. Even with the downhill slope, I want to get over the wind. I'm hoping to land right around here. Push and slope means that I'm probably needing to aim a little bit more to the right. But if I fast it or perfect it, this should still be a good place. And that's exactly what we get. Slightly right of the pin for a perfect. And look at that. In a very good spot. I might need to aim this a little bit more. I can tell right away. This slope is more tilted to the right than it's saying. The issue, why it's the beat is slower than the slope, is on the right side you can see it flatten out drastically. So when you have these weird lies, you do need to check them out or be cognizant of them. Because the rest look like they're about normal, right? They're slow. There's a flat spot there. Here's another flat spot, but it looks like there is some break. Yeah, there's a little bit of break. So in the end, you might end up with a good result if you aim just based on the beads, because some of them are flat and some of them are tilted more. But let's hope we've read this right. As you can see, it really didn't want to break in the middle, but we ended up securing a birdie. Big, wide open fairway. If you have the distance on your club, this is downhill, and you have a slight wind at your back in this scenario. With this wind, I can go for this with some loft. This will easily clear. If you cannot easily clear, just get it into the middle over here. Even I could just aim here, but because of my distance, like, I'm going to protect against that left side by going over these bunkers, and as long as I don't hit miss tempo too badly, I will be good. Well, and then I missed tempo really badly. My tempo is really bad right now. Hit up very fast, so, I mean, if you play fast side, you'll be safe. But now I definitely cannot reach. Tempo is just a little fast today. I've been really slow the last couple days, but today we're fast. I'm trying to avoid slows, so like I'm consciously trying to play faster. Alright, this is risky. This is really risky. This doesn't quite get there. I'm worried about it landing here and coming back off. I'm going to take the longer club and partial it. So hopefully this time I actually do partial it. Add a little spin because the sand wedge flop does play a little bit more. Roll out. Hit the perfect tempo, perfect power. Tempo is good, and as you can see, it rolled out, but I wanted to give it some rollout just in case I underhit it. Ooh, that almost broke to the left. As you can see, sometimes it really matters to check out those beads. Back pin that rolls off on all sides. What is my tempo? I've never hit this many fast. I don't know if this quite gets there, but we have a downhill lie. Gonna hope we get not too high. Okay, something is really wrong with my tempo. I would never putt this if I were you, because you'll have to add like 20 to probably like 40 feet of power just to get it up. But do be wary if you want to learn the ways of the... You want to learn the ways of the fringe putting, fairway putting. And we got one. Long par 5 again. Well, not medium length par 5. You can reach into. Get into the fairway. Oh my god. That's how I hit it perfect. I shank it even more. Because my timing is just off. Super downhill lie. So we're going to get a couple more yards out of this. And we have firm, remember? Firm. Downhill lie means it's going to want to bounce more too. So I'm hoping to land right around here. So I'm not adding too much loft. And like, I could actually get away with not using any loft because of the elevation. But in case I fast it, I don't want it to be too long and having to chip from the heavy rough up here. Because chipping downhill, scary, right? You all know that. So I'd rather be short and down here because of it than be long and struggle to get up. Too fast still. But because we added the loft, we're only going to just... Oh, we stayed on the fairway. Or stayed on the green, so... Not bad. Look. Big slope at the feet, but it does not break as much at the end. So I'm going to take it back a little bit. Will we regret that decision? Nope. Would have been good either way. But if I had overhit it, that would have been center cup. Okay. Playing better now. As you can see, sometimes you gotta fight your demons, fight your tempo demons, and still try to score a bunch. $111, $110, $114-ish. I could play this and de-loft it. I kind of like that play. You can go a little long. If you go a little long and you have a little spin, it will come back. And because this isn't red slope or anything, this will die. This is just turns green. It doesn't go here. The issue is don't be short. So playing a lob wedge short is a little risky. But that's why I'm going to de-loft it. And we've been fasting everything, so I assume I'm gonna get there. Beautiful. Take off power if you're scared. I'm scared. Broke a little bit more. That happens. Should have read it a little bit better. Well, our first kind of semi-long par 4. You could put a little bit of a fade here so you can get it running with the slope. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Play it out here. Hope we don't fast too badly. What did I just say? Our shape almost saved us, but instead we are extra screwed again. I feel like something's off. It's probably because I'm wearing a sweatshirt. But with some spin, we roll over the hole. That's the benefit of using spin, is that you control the rollout more out of the heavy rough. And you get extra distance. Spin adds distance out of the rough. Okay. That's it. Controller disconnects. I've never hit this many. It's super fast in my entire time on this game. So you should be able to reach this in 2, and you could use this slope right here to get there. If you are short because you black fasted it like me, you might be able to get there if you loft and spin. This will add like 8 yards to my club. And if I hit like a 102, I might just get there. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. But if I end up down here, c'est la vie. I trust my putter. I understand. I understand the risks, the inherent risks in this. I've been fasting a lot, so. Perfect. There we go. Finally a good swing. Got the 102. Just barely doesn't get there. So you should easily get there if you're in the fairway. You could overpower that. I could have taken driver off the deck there. But obviously the bad tempo off the tee really screwed me. I'm going to add a bunch of power. Get it up here. Nope, I underhit it. So we're not going to make it there. But because we added power, at least we're not coming back down the hill. I hit it right as soon as I hit the vibration, and that's not what you're supposed to do there. There's supposed to be a little bit more vibration, and then I push forward. But it's another birdie. It's a pretty easy birdie hole. A little fade. See if we can get this down there a little bit more. You can also loft this a little bit. I'm gonna loft it, put a tiny bit of fade. See if we can't, like, use this slope to kick right and get close to the green. Perfect. So the loft gave us some extra distance. 102 off the tee also did as well. We did not get the kick we wanted, though. And now we're in a little bit of trouble. This is the risk of going for a shot like this. But we can add full loft, full spin. Oh, we have a really bad lie percentage. So we need to play it out here and pray it stops. Or downhill lie, downhill slope. Do not do this. I do not recommend being in this position. I could flop this as well. Might be a better chance. Even with the slow giving us additional roll out or additional spin, we could not get that to stop. But it's still in a good place. You could still make that if you weren't bad like me. I'll probably play better tonight when we stream around. And finally, 18. Look at this. Slope back here again, giving you protection. Being short is dangerous. So play for here, or play for pin high and use the slope back here. With the firm, as long as you're not here, you should get up. Even right here, you might get up because it's a 3-iron. So just don't be short. Just don't be short. Don't be too short. You have slope back there. I'm probably gonna hit a fast, so I'm gonna protect a little bit about the fast. Ah, too fast. But there's a slope on the left. So, again, we protected ourselves quite well. As long as we don't hit too bad of a tempo, we have a chance. A little bit over. Should go to the right. And it does. So, as you can see, even a top player will miss a bunch of tempos. Will struggle. First round of the day. You know, I just ate. I'm not in prime condition. I didn't warm up before this. This is my warm up for the day. And despite missing 4 or 5 fairways, I still ended up scoring really well. It's an easier course. I can confirm this does play a little easier than last week because there's a lot of helping slopes instead of like downhill slopes. So this course definitely easier even on the harder conditions, but it will depend on the wind. Maybe you guys get 9 to 11 miles per hour winds, which can happen on medium winds. Medium winds is anything from 4 to about 13. It can get up to 13 on the higher end. So it completely depends what it RNGs to and what direction it RNGs to. But overall, lots of scoring holes. As you can see, there were some easier holes that I did not score and some harder holes that I did score because of my tempo issues. So don't worry too much. This is on the easier. It will be harder to keep up on the scoring for certain places, but you know, if you're good enough, you're good enough and you'll do fine. So anyways, thank you for watching this TGC Tours Challenge Circuit preview at Orion Ranch, made by mattf and also tpetro. It's a lovely course. I played this in 2K21. It was very nice. I love it. It's really nice. It's a very relaxing experience because it's very scoreable. A lot of par 5s that you can reach easily. The whole shebang. But anyways, thank you guys. Love you guys. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the Twitch. Twitch.tv/karacakes. Yes, I said it differently that time again. Don't care. Don't care. But until next time, love you guys. Mwah. See you soon.